And
If
you know
it's
how
not a
train
train
wrecks
wreck,
are.
are you doing it right?
People can't look away.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the party. This is Dottie. I'm here with my buddy ZULUONE. And let me get over to the watch page just because I want to see if anybody's here. And then we can talk to them. And let's see what's happening. I have not streamed on my channel in a couple months now. And feels good to be back. And let us see. Looks like we're live. It's probably going to make noise. Give it one sec. And feels good to be back. Okay.
There you
There we go. Okay, cool. And looks like nobody's here yet, but that is okay because you and I will have fun talking no matter what.
Echoey.
There we go. Okay, cool. So tonight, eventually when I figure it out, I don't know, I'll put the link for the part 1 of this video because like a few months back I did part 1 of a Nikola Tesla stream, and so this will be part 2, and we're going to be talking about his inventions. He is basically my favorite scientist. He's absolutely brilliant, and he made stuff that we still use today, and a lot of stuff that we probably aren't even aware of he invented that we still use. And he is he's awesome. I love Nikola Tesla. He is really hot and really smart, and I mean, what else can you want? So hot and
Hey,
smart.
I'm curious. Is he Polish?
He is, let me take a look. He is from...
So I always found it ironic how there's so many Polish jokes, you know, about them being so stupid and whatever.
Right.
And most of like the physicists and top scientists and shit are Polish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like what kind of setup is that? It says Nikola Tesla was born an ethnic Serb. So
Serbian, okay.
Serbian, yeah. So yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna screen share. So I'll just be like reading Wikipedia. But yeah, we can just talk about some of his cool inventions. So let me get my screen up and contact application window. It's the Chrome tab. There we go. And that one. Cool. Okay. Do you see the screen, the Wikipedia?
No.
I don't know if it'll show up.
Now, oh, there it goes. There it goes.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
It came up now.
Cool. Cool. Okay. So yeah, the part 1 of this video, I read through all of this stuff, like his early years and whatnot. And,
hey, Supernova.
And let me turn it on. Okay, cool. And so let me just scroll down and find, I don't really know where I stopped at the last time, but it doesn't really matter. Because we're just going to read over his inventions anyway, so it doesn't. Let's see, he worked at the telephone exchange, working with Edison. Edison was not a fan of Tesla. Like, Edison was such a freaking dick, and he was, it's like Edison, they were competing for like creating light bulbs or something, and like Edison wanted to charge everyone for electricity, and Tesla was like, oh, hey, I found this awesome way that people can have free energy. And Edison just like, no, fuck that. We have to charge people. We couldn't possibly give this stuff away for free. And yeah, Edison was not a fan of Tesla. And, you know, probably because he was jealous of how much smarter Tesla was than him, and the fact that Tesla didn't give a shit about money. Like, he just flat out wanted the world to have his awesome inventions. And he was such a legend. Yeah, he is awesome. So let me see. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna start reading this one, and yeah, you can jump in and chat about it anytime you want, Zulu. So, Tesla Electric Light and Manufacturing. Soon after leaving the Edison company, Tesla was working on patenting an arc lighting system, possibly the same one he had developed at Edison. In March 1885, he met with patent attorney Lemuel Sorel, the same attorney used by Edison to obtain help with submitting the patents. Sorel introduced Tesla to two businessmen, Robert Lane and Benjamin Vail, who agreed to finance an arc lighting manufacturing and utility company in Tesla's name, the Tesla Electric Light and Manufacturing. Tesla worked for the rest of the year obtaining the patents that included an improved DC generator. The first patents issued to Tesla in the US and building and installing the system in Rahway, New Jersey. Tesla's
Rahway,
new system.
New Jersey. What a shithole.
Jersey. I know. I actually went to New Jersey.
Why?
Quite a few years back, and I think that I went to like the one part of New Jersey that was not awful. It was this little like Victorian village town called Cape May, and it was on
where rich people are, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. And so this entire town was just like old, beautiful, like Victorian style houses. And we went there at Christmas time and stayed in this, big, huge old mansion. And the whole town was all decorated. And we went on like horse-drawn carriage ride through the town. And it was a really, really good time. But yeah, I think that was the one place in New Jersey that was acceptable to go to. I have not heard anything good about New Jersey other than that place. So yeah,
everywhere in New Jersey is a fucking highway. So
yeah,
it's like, what exit? Where do you live? What exit? Because it's always right off of a highway. It's so crazy.
Right.
Unless you get out to like where Larry lives, it's kind of woods near PA.
Yeah.
But Jersey still sucks. They're terrible. Right. They'll arrest you for if you have in your possession a bullet, not a gun, not any way to fire it, but just a bullet by accident. Let's say you live in a neighboring state like New York or Pennsylvania where you can carry a gun.
Right.
And you forget a bullet in your car, and it happens to be a hollow tip, you will go to jail for a felony possession of a hollow tip round, and you will face $1,000 charge for each bullet.
Oh my God. Wow.
So God forbid you left a 10-round mag in the glove box, you'd get 10 fucking years in prison.
Oh my God. That's mind blowing. Washington. Yeah, here in Washington, I don't know, it's like really mixed on the gun laws. So like we're allowed to open carry with a permit and concealed carry, all that stuff. But the thing that just changed recently that's so messed up is, let's say I own a gun, I'm responsible for it, I have all the licenses that I need and everything. Someone breaks in my house, steals my gun, and goes and commits a crime with my gun. I'm going to get charged with that crime because they stole my gun and then committed a crime. But it's like if someone breaks into my house, like they're not leaving my house. So and I don't
know the motivation for sure.
Right, exactly.
I hate to say it, but you better kill anyone that comes into your household.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think the other thing here is that if someone breaks in and you like injure them and then they get outside of your house and then you kill them or something, like then you're in super trouble. Well, like you literally have to. Yeah,
right. You can't follow them. You're not the police.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You have to kill them inside your house. Like it's really insane.
And that's the end right there. That's so fucked. just, it's
yeah,
such a
it's
terrible thing.
mind-blowing.
And the way the world is today, Jesus Christ, cops get arrested for doing their job. And you
Exactly.
know, they're supposed to shoot people. I mean, I don't know what to say, but they're supposed to.
Yeah,
That's what they do.
exactly. And yeah, and it's like,
Crazy.
oh, if you're breaking the law, well, then yeah, what do you really expect if a cop shoots you? It's like you're committing a crime. So what more do you want really? But yeah, if someone breaks into my house, then they're probably going to get impaled a few times with arrows, and then like while they're on the ground I'm gonna like tase them and then stab them with one of my thick broadhead arrows. So yeah, break into my house and you won't be leaving, so just FYI. And yeah, but yeah, I can't believe that it's like you could be a responsible gun owner, and if some asshole steals your gun and commits a crime, you're liable for it. And you're just like, what are you supposed to do if someone stole from you? It's mind blowing that we're like kind of open and okay with guns, but then at the same time we're really messed up with it.
You have to have a big, huge ass safe, and make sure
Yeah,
it's
seriously.
always, if the gun is out of the safe, there should only be three places that gun
Hmm.
should be: in the safe, on your person, or right next to you.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
So if it's not in on your person or next to you, it's in the safe.
Right.
And that safe should be big enough that it takes a couple big dudes to carry it.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, for sure. Let's see, where did I leave that?
People just suck.
They're really the worst.
It is the most retarded fucking thing that I'm liable for your actions.
Right, exactly. And
What
yeah,
world do
like you can take all the right precautions, make sure that you're licensed, you're trained, you're good to go, and then just because some jerk breaks in and then goes and kills someone or whatever, you're liable for it. It's just mind blowing, and they just
clearly
recently
your
changed
fault?
that, and yeah,
Well, shit.
it's
You might
absurd.
as well pay me money for what your evil ancestors did. Same shit.
Right.
Same stupidness. You
Yeah,
should be held responsible for your actions. Period.
exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
And I didn't say this, but I agree with it so much that I don't think anyone deserves to die. But
Hmm.
if your actions cause you to die, you forfeited your right to life. You
Right.
brought this upon yourself. You know,
Like,
you mug the little old man that has a fucking 45 and he puts a round in your face. That's your problem, not
mhm,
his. He was minding his own business.
right. With like all this mask stuff going on and the quarantines and etc. Whatever. Like I've been thinking like, okay, at this point, like we're almost 6 months into, the hell that is 2020, and I just feel like at this point we need to remove all the masks, open everything back up, remove the plexiglass, and just let nature take its course. Like, if you're gonna die, you're meant to die right now. Like, it's just your time. Like, yes, I'm not wishing death upon anybody, but hey, we all die at some point, and like there just seems to be a few too many retarded zombies right now. So like maybe nature could just do its thing and take out a few of them,
Right,
because
right.
yeah,
Hey,
it's just yeah.
I'm sure bacon's gonna take me out early, but so be it. It's my problem.
I had bacon and eggs this morning, and it was like I cooked the
Stop,
bacon just
stop teasing
perfect,
me.
like so
That was
perfect.
good.
Oh, that's so good. I love bacon. I love. Oh my god.
And
Whew,
I didn't know
almost
that
died.
every religion prohibits you from eating pork.
Yeah, bacon is honestly the only pork that I like. Very occasionally I like link sausage, but that's like maybe if I'm at a restaurant or whatever, and yeah, I'll have link sausage sometimes, but no, I definitely prefer bacon. But other than that, I really don't. I don't like pork. Like a pork chop. Oh
That's
no.
weird to me because pork, if I eat pork, like I'm Puerto Rican, I can't help it. I love the roasted pork. It's pernil, it's called, and just the way it's made, it's just so
Yeah.
good. But it fucks me up.
Yeah.
I feel horrible for like a day.
Right.
But
Yeah.
bacon,
I mean,
I could eat 2 pounds of bacon and feel fine and go do whatever. It doesn't bother me.
right. Yeah, I think that pork is, in general, it's not a high quality meat. Like it's just not a like people think that lobsters are so like high end or whatever, but it's like no,
You
lobsters
mean
are
the
like
cockroach
they're
of
a
the ocean?
bottom they're a bottom feeder. They're like a cockroach of the sea. Like
Yep.
they're not
Exactly.
like lobsters used to be fed to prisoners and stuff. Like they're not a high end meal. And so yeah, it's hilarious that people will pay, so much for a lobster tail or whatever. And it's like you're eating the cockroach of
Marketing.
the sea.
It's all marketing.
Oh, it's hilarious. But if you go on a cruise, when you go into like the fancy dining at night, they'll have the menu of everything. And whenever you order your dinner, like if it's lobster tail night, if you want, you can order like 4 lobster tails or like as many as you want. Like they'll just bring you all these plates of lobster tail. And like cruises they're kind of absurd for just how much food they will give you. Like you can find a buffet at any time of day. And yeah, it's just kind of mind-blowing how much food they will give you. But yeah, it's kind of cool because like all your food is included in the price of your cruise. And so wherever you're eating, they're just like, okay, how much do you want? And they just bring it on out to you, and you don't have to pay for your meal or whatever because it's already included.
I'm such a fat bastard because
But yeah,
that,
dude,
that's
yeah,
the
seriously, like you
only
just be
reason
like
I'd go on a cruise.
walking through the ship at like midnight, and you're like, is that a crepe buffet? Like, okay, I'm down.
Nice.
So funny.
I'm such a fat bastard. That's the only reason I'd go on a cruise.
Dude, yeah, like it's one
And I
of the
want
best
the whole
things. Like
thing.
I always
I
make
hate
sure
the ocean.
when I go on a cruise, I like rarely will take the elevator because I'm just eating so much that I like force myself to take the stairs. I don't get super fat while I'm on my cruise. But yeah, I haven't been on one in quite a few years. So it'd be fun to go on one
You mean those,
now
those
that like there'd
15
probably be
steps
like 5.
cancel out the. I was going to say the 15 steps cancel out the 15 cheeseburgers and 3 steaks that you had before dinner. Just checking.
Exactly. Yeah, the one flight of stairs will definitely counteract the crepe buffet that it just inhaled.
That's too funny. My friends
That's
said
awesome.
they went on a cruise and
Yeah, it'd be fun to go on
I
a cruise right
guess
now because there'd probably only be like 5 people on it,
they're
'cause
expensive. I heard
they
that the
are. Yeah.
prices are ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like my friend, he said they went on one and like all the wives went to go do something. So all the husbands were together and they were supposed to meet for dinner. And on the way to dinner, they passed a restaurant that has like these awesome cheeseburger sliders and things. So they stopped and had another meal before they even went to dinner. It's so fucked up.
That's awesome.
But it's
Yeah.
on the ocean and I don't dig the ocean. I'm not into it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Like you will so I've gone to Mexico and I've gone to Alaska, and um yeah, like you'll end up with a couple days during the cruise that you're just flat out at sea. Like there ain't shit around you. You're just at sea for a whole day or whatever as you travel to whatever ports you're going to. And Yeah, it can be a little bit eerie just because, like,
Yeah, if I can't see land, I can't do it.
yeah. And
Can't
then,
do it.
like,
Can't do it.
when you trying to think, yeah, when you go down to Mexico, you're like you're going with the current, I think, and then when you come back, you have to go against it, and you have to go a little faster to make up the time of
And
going against
uphill,
the current.
right?
And
Don't you have to go uphill for the curve?
yeah, exactly, you have to go up over the curve. Yeah. But yeah, the
Hmm.
like return trip, those can get a bit on the turbulent side because you have to go so much faster
Oh
and you're
yeah,
going
no way.
against the current, and so like the boat will be like rocking
Yeah,
kind
no,
of
no,
back
no.
and forth and whatever, and it's yeah, it's pretty
You're
wild.
making me nauseous just thinking about it. I
Yeah.
can't do
Right.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, they are fun,
You like
but
cruising so much? Watch the movie Greyhound. Tell me you want to go on a cruise after that.
yeah.
I couldn't imagine being a sailor in World War II, crossing
Right.
the Atlantic with those fucking things chasing. Oh my God, that the only reason I watched it was as I saw a scene and it showed the open water and it just freaked me out. Just whoa, it was
Mhm.
so scary. So I was like, I'll watch it because like I watch zombie movies because they're just dirty and nasty and they scare
Right.
me and that's why I watch them because it's like that exhilaration. And I watched that whole movie just like on the edge of my seat. It was
Mhm.
creepy. I couldn't imagine it. I really couldn't. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
You'd have to throw me in the brig. I'd never go out there.
Right. Yeah, my son and I were watching some, I think it was Shark Week or something, but we were watching a bunch of shark shows, and like I just think about how there are like such big things in the ocean that never leave the ocean. Like it's kind of wild to me that there's stuff that they're just like it lives in the water all the time and you don't know where it is, and like the ocean
Hmm.
is so vast and that like these things can get so freaking big. And yeah, it's just kind of mind-blowing to
Yeah,
think like how much
yeah.
stuff is
That,
actually
that
in
that's
the
another thing.
ocean. And
I'm a big dude, and I don't want to deal with anything that can eat me. What the fuck?
right. Can
Plus,
you turn
I
your
don't breathe.
volume up
I
a
don't
little
breathe in
bit?
their environment. Oh, no, I can't.
Let me
I was
see.
just trying to talk quietly because I'm
Oh,
outside
okay.
right now
Okay.
smoking.
Nope, you're all
Sorry.
good. No problem. I just want to make sure I can hear you so I
I,
respond to the
I
right
I
stuff.
apologize, boss lady.
It's all good. You're just, do it again and you'll be banned for life. So there you go.
I don't want punishment. I'm sorry. Never
It's
happen
all
again.
all good. Let us see. Where did I leave off?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
yeah,
so
we were
fucked up.
in.
I love Tesla. I love that thing that he made the something and it makes sense with oscillation and vibration. Something that it was a small device
Oh,
that could take down a building.
oh, yeah, his little handheld like earthquake machine thing. Yeah, that thing is
Yeah.
wild. I wish I remembered the name of it,
So
but we,
so
I'm
if
sure.
he made that back then, do you think that our military doesn't have that technology? That
Oh,
they don't
exactly.
have
I
that
mean,
stuff?
there's no way that they didn't like seize his paperwork, his invention, stuff like that. And like there's zero chance that his stuff is just not being
Well,
used.
didn't they say that? Right? They said that all his work, everything was confiscated,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
and he died a broken man with none of his work.
Mhm.
So
Yep,
somebody's got it.
he died penniless, he died alone, he never married. He had a really big problem with like
He
the
never married.
feel of
He must have been a
women's
flat
hair.
earther, and everybody thought he was
And
crazy.
oh yeah, I mean, he was one of the smartest men ever to have lived. Like yeah, it's insane the amount of technology that we use because of him that we don't even realize that he created. And like he
How?
didn't
Yeah.
want recognition for most of this stuff. Like
How
he
about
just
people who want to deny wireless electricity and sending it to households, and they're like, "Oh, that's impossible. You could never be done. That it
Mhm,
wouldn't work." Really? Because you could buy a brand new car that has a pad that you just place your phone on it and it
mhm,
charges. It never
right.
touches it. How does
Yeah.
that work? Oh, Tesla's fucking
Yep.
stuff. Sorry,
Exactly.
I'm a moron. Me speak good sometimes.
me, me real educated. Yeah.
Yes.
No, he's made some of the just the most amazing things that we use in the world, and he didn't even care about the recognition, the patents, nothing like that. He's just like, I just want the world to have this because it's so freaking awesome. Like, yeah, it's really awesome. Let's see, we left off here in Gay, New Jersey. um, Tesla's new system gained notice in the technical press, which commented on its advanced features. The investors showed little interest in Tesla's ideas for new types of alternating current motors and electrical transmission equipment. After the utility was up and running in 1886, they decided that the manufacturing side of the business was too competitive and opted to simply run an electric utility. They formed a new utility company, abandoning Tesla's company and leaving the inventor penniless. Tesla even lost control of the patents he had generated since he had assigned them to the company in exchange for stock.
Yep.
He
Yep.
had to work. What's that? Oh,
I was just saying that's a true thing.
mhm.
I invented something. I don't talk about it. I won't give details, but I invented something and got fucked by money people.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's.
it's just how it works. If you're not the money
I
people, you
mean,
don't get it.
so Einstein used to work at the patent office, and he stole countless patents from people and wrote it off that he did it. Like, he was a terrible person, and people want to be like, oh, Einstein was so brilliant, blah blah blah. It's like, no, he married his cousin, and then he married another cousin, and
Cousin fucker.
he was a thief, and he was a liar, and like, no, he was a dirtbag. And he even admitted that Tesla was smarter than him. And
Right.
yeah,
And
and like
in that
Tesla
comment,
Tesla
right?
has.
They asked him, "What does the smartest man have to say?" And he said, "I don't know. You should ask Nikola
Mhm.
Tesla."
Exactly. Yeah. And like, uh, even Tesla was just like, he's like, dude, his theory of relativity is bullshit. Like, no, he's wrong. And just like, no, that guy's an idiot. Like, just leave me alone. I just want to be in my place by myself. Like, I don't even want to talk about that guy because he's a loser. And like,
Right.
yeah, it's pretty funny.
Bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, Einstein was a douchebag. He was a terrible person. Same
Every
with Edison.
they
Edison
all
just wanted
suck.
to screw Tesla over. Like,
All those
ridiculous.
suits and ties, all they care about is money. People
Yeah,
don't matter.
exactly.
Lives
Yep,
don't matter.
exactly.
You want to talk about Black Lives Matter? Talk to those fucking people. No lives matter.
Exactly. Let's see. Tesla even
They're
lost
still
control of
rotten.
the
They're still
patents he
rotten.
generated since he had signed it to the company in exchange for stock. He had to work at various electrical repair jobs and as a ditch digger for $2 per day. Later in life, Tesla recounted that part of 1886 as a time of hardship, writing, "My high education in various branches of science, mechanics, and literature seemed to be like a mockery." Yeah, I mean, he got absolutely no notoriety while he was alive. All of his fame and esteem and all that came long after he died, which that's generally how it happens. You know, like artists get way famous after they pass away, and it just, yeah, there were
Yep.
so many people who were trying to screw Tesla over and steal his shit that it just, yeah, it took a while for for it to catch up and people to be like, oh, that guy was actually like a super legend. Like he was amazing.
It took a shitty band and an asshole with a car company to fucking have people think about him.
Right, exactly. I know, and if you ask anybody who like invented Tesla Motors, they'll say that Elon Musk did, but it's like, no, he didn't invent that. He just happened to buy a company with that name. Like,
because it had something to do with PayPal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he happened to get lucky and made a ton of money on PayPal, and then he bought a bunch of random companies and whatever. But I have thought for a really, really long time that Elon is some kind of just robot. Like, I don't think that
alien robot.
Yeah, I do not think that he's actually a person. Like, he could just be like a figment, you know, they just like put a picture on the screen. Because like the things that he says are, it's just that man should not ever be allowed to speak in public. Like, he is just absurd. But I swear that he is.
It looks so fake it has to be real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It looks so fake it has to be real, right? I mean, like, really? That's what you have to say?
Exactly.
That's how you fix people doubting what you're showing us?
Yeah. Yeah, he is mind-blowingly ridiculous.
It sucks. I like those Tesla cars, but they're fucked up the way they run their things. Like they could turn your car off. They can.
Yeah.
There's all these deals. It's like iPhones. You don't own your iPhone. Nobody does.
Right.
Not one person owns their iPhone. Read the small print. You are leasing it. That's why it's locked, and they decide what you can do with it. They decide what you can surf on the internet because Safari on Apple iPhones doesn't give you the same results as Google.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't give them all to you. It reduces it by like 30%.
Yeah.
If not more. I hate iPhones. They're horrible.
Yeah,
they're
I had Samsung for a long time, but now I have just like a random smartphone, and like, I don't know, it works for the dumb stuff that I want to do, but yeah, I've never switched over to iPhone, and some of the stuff that it does is kind of cool, whatever, but at the same time, like, I just don't need more technology. Like, I really need to lessen the amount of technology I have. Like, the more away from the grid that I can be is better.
Like smartphone crack. Once I had one, that was it. I could never go back. I'm mad at myself. I mean, I fully admit it. I'm Mark. I'm a cell phone addict. I love these things. I love that I could do everything on them. Fuck. I just bought my first car with just using my phone.
Right.
I didn't do anything. It came to my house.
My gosh.
Hey, look at that. There's my car. I was like, what? Yeah,
you know,
crazy thing.
What's funny is I'm old enough to remember when like the internet came around and chat rooms came around and stuff, and you know, the biggest thing was like,
I was a total
you never ever meet anyone that you talk to online. And then fast forward to a couple years ago, I was an Uber driver, and someone just beep 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 on their phone, and they order me to come and pick them up. Like, I'm a stranger going to pick up a stranger, and it's so insane how in just like 20 years the face of the internet has changed so much. Yeah, it's mind blowing.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, don't ever meet anybody on the internet, but 2020, you can order a stranger from your phone to come and pick you up and take you to wherever. Like, it's really insane.
I used to totally be. I wouldn't say I guess it was trolling. I guess I was a troll, but like the early chat rooms, because I
Mhm.
didn't buy a computer till '97
Yeah.
was the first time and then there was Yahoo chat rooms and all these things, and you saw a lot of the same people, I mean, different, different personalities and stuff, and then there'd be new people, and you could see that, they were being assholes. So
Right.
I would always fuck with them.
Right.
As soon as they started being dick to people, I was like, okay, that's the guy. He's an asshole.
Right.
And I would just say like the craziest shit, and
I mean,
they,
I feel
get
like
them to leave.
internet trolls is the one thing that has remained consistent in all the years of the internet, because like there's always some idiot guy who's gonna talk shit because he can be anonymous and nobody
Yeah.
can find him, and like there's always going to be someone on the internet who's just like, oh well, I hate this and this is why I'm blah 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 blah. But I used to watch these things on YouTube that was like when you get a scam call on your phone, this guy would actually answer the calls, and then they would be trying to scam him out of money, like oh yeah, we'll give you this gift card and we just need this information from you, blah blah blah. Well, he
Yeah.
would go,
Yeah.
he would hack, like they were trying to hack him and steal his money, but he would go in and hack their computer and then wipe it clean. And like it was the funniest stuff ever. Like it was so good because he had like a
Oh yeah.
voice thing that made him sound like an old lady. And
Is that Kit Boga?
maybe, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't
Because
remember his name, but
that's a dude I watch now. It's KITBOGA, and he does that with the fucking gift cards, and he pretends he's a
right,
crazy
dude,
old lady,
it's
and then
so
he pretends to get
funny.
the gift cards but buy shit, and they're like, "What are you doing? Why would you buy something?"
Right,
And he's like, "But you said it was for laptops, so I bought you laptops." And
right.
they're like, "No." It's so
Dude, so
funny.
funny.
I love that shit.
There was
Fuck
one
you,
time
you
there was one
Pakistani
time
piece of
that
shit.
they the scammer realized what was happening. He realized his computer was getting wiped or whatever, and so he hung up on the guy. And then the one guy, he was calling back, and you could hear that they were in like kind of a call center thing, or like there was multiple people there all trying to do this. And
Oh yeah, it's a
and he
full-on
kept
fucking corporation with like 50 people in a room.
uh,
They're
yeah,
motherfuckers.
exactly.
They are pieces of shit. Karma should fucking wipe them off
But
the earth with a fucking smart bomb.
he kept calling back to try and get back to the person that he was talking to, and they're like, oh, oh no, that person's not here, they left. He did this like 5 times, and then after the final time, they were just like, oh, that person died. And then he's like, oh well, can I talk to this person? They're like, they died too. And he's just like, what's happening in your company? Like everyone is just dropping dead. Like it was so funny. Oh man, it's so awesome. Because yeah, they knew that he was scamming them back, and they're just like, no, they died. They're no, you can't talk to them. They're dead. That person's dead too. And like, oh my god, it was so funny.
And I
So,
like that they hack them back. Like I used to when they'd call, I'd be like, "Yeah, okay, what do you got?" And and go through the whole, "Yeah, sure, I'd like to buy, warranty on my car or whatever, blah blah blah."
right.
And then by the end they knew that was bullshit, and I'm like, "Fuck you! I'm wasting your time like you waste everyone else's. So now you can't fuck some old lady for the
Mm-hmm.
next 90 minutes and take her money, you piece of
Yeah,
shit."
exactly.
And then they get mad and like, just
So
and it's
awesome.
funny
Like
when
it's just
they call and they say, "Oh, my name is Kevin," and I'm like, "Oh, that's a very interesting accent you have there, Kevin. What are you
right.
from, Virginia?"
Yeah.
And it's like, really, you definitely sound like you're from fucking New Delhi. You know,
Exactly.
fucking assholes, scumbags. Oh, and it's so rotten to take advantage of people. What the
Right.
fuck? Why do people think that that is an okay thing to do?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It's mind blowing, but yeah, it's really just awesome when they get scammed back because just like, oh, karma really is a bitch. Like, there you go. That's what you get. And yeah, I hate people who are just pieces of shit like that.
All
Like
right,
they
back on the rails. What was the next
okay.
chapter? Next paragraph.
But you and I,
Moving on.
we could have a subject and it doesn't matter. Like we're gonna go off the
I
rails no
know. I
matter
know. I know. I'm just
what.
attempting to get us back on. I
Right,
really
right,
don't have any
exactly.
expectations.
Eventually, we will make a point.
Correct.
um, okay, let's see. We are at AC and the induction motor. So in late 1886, Tesla met Alfred S. Brown, a Western Union superintendent and New York attorney Charles F. Peck. The two men were experienced in setting up companies and promoting inventions and patents for financial gain. Based on Tesla's new ideas for electrical equipment, including a thermomagnetic motor. I want to see what that is. Let me see. That so the thermomagnetic motor converts heat into kinetic
Heat and
energy
magnet.
using the thermomagnetic effect, the influence of temperature on the magnetic material magnetization. Okay, I know that one of these is
Interesting.
that building collapser thing that we were
That makes
talking about.
sense, right? You extract energy from, or you can extract energy as heat,
Right, yeah, convert heat
right?
into
So,
kinetic energy. Yeah.
and I know you can go the other way because you can make plates that you put in your fireplace, and you
Mm-hmm.
can charge batteries and stuff while you're
Right,
heating your home.
right.
I suggested making a whole fireplace of that. Why not?
Oh,
And
yeah,
power up
exactly.
lithium batteries.
Yeah, I've heard of people doing like you do like hot water pipes in your floor and then it'll keep your floor heated.
Yes,
Just yeah, there's just so many
but
different
a lot
ways
of
to get
big
energy
open
and
buildings,
use it
they
and
do that.
whatnot. They agreed to back the inventor financially and handle his patents. Together, they formed the Tesla Electric Company in April 1887 with an agreement that profits from generated patents would go one third to Tesla, one third to Peck and Brown, and one third to fund development. They set up a laboratory for Tesla at 89 Liberty Street in Manhattan, where he worked on improving and developing new types of electric motors, generators, and other devices. 1887, he was making electric motors, generators, and other stuff. Like 1887. That is just such a mind-blowingly long time ago that yeah, he had so many advanced ideas. Like it's amazing that he
Terrible.
it's almost like he was born in the wrong time, but at the same
Like I'm
time, like
sure
we wouldn't
there's
have any
AI
of the
out
stuff that
there.
we have now if he hadn't done that stuff back then. It's just fascinating. Um, in 1887, Tesla developed an induction motor that ran on alternating current, a power system format that was rapidly expanding in Europe and the United States because of its advantages in long distance, high voltage transmission. The motor used polyphase current, which generated a rotating magnetic field to turn the motor, a principle that Tesla claimed to have conceived in 1882.
Wow.
Right? That's amazing. What's the polyphase current? Okay.
And this is 2021, and we're supposed to be the epitome of mankind and intelligence, and
Yeah,
it's the same stuff that he came up with, and we just flashed it up and made it nice and put it in an iPhone case.
Right, exactly. Yeah, like we probably wouldn't even have cell phones, or like there's so much stuff that we wouldn't have if he hadn't done all this stuff. Like he had an electric motors in the 1800s, like yeah, it's just he's just mind-blowingly awesome. This innovative electric motor, patented in May 1888, was a simple self-starting design that did not need a commutator. And a commutator is a rotary electrical switch in certain types of electric motors and electrical generators that periodically reverses the current direction between the rotor and the external circuit. It consists of a cylinder composed of multiple metal contact segments on the rotating armature of the machine. And some of this stuff is like so in depth for me that I like almost can't even process it. It just have to read it a few times to be like, oh, okay, yeah,
you get it. If you read it a couple times.
Right.
Like I learned all of that stuff in actually automotive technology. That's what my degree is in.
I took auto shop in high school, which that was actually a really fun class, but it was just it was a very basic class, just learning simple things about cars, but it was super helpful. Really glad that I took that.
Oh yeah, I think that should be standard for everyone. If cars exist, people should know how to use them more.
Yeah, exactly.
You shouldn't be on the side of the road not knowing how to change a tire.
Right, totally.
How to check your oil so you don't blow your fucking car up that you just spent $30,000 on.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, just a few like basic things that can keep your vehicle going. Like everybody should know how to do those.
Right. We learned the science of why things work the way they do. And just being able to, use. I mean, obviously, I got to use a book, but formulas of how to calculate, the combustion chamber size, what ratios you're going to get when the piston moves a certain length, called the stroke, and things like that. So it was good. I enjoyed it. I like it. I love cars. I love this shit. I love driving. I love driving fast. Can't help it. I say, and this is much respect and props to my homies. I went to the Arcadia School of Driving. That's the development I grew up in.
Yeah.
I've had a car since I was 13 years old.
Yeah.
I've always had a car. We had trails because half the development was never built, but they put in all the sewer pipes, all the curbs, and they never paved it. So we had beautiful dirt streets.
Oh, nice.
And we used to do time trials. We'd be out there in the craziest blizzard snowstorm doing time trials with a big old car that we put giant snow tires on just so we could run it through the mud and snow, and then be like, okay, you go, and then we just sit there, okay, all right, now you go. And we had such a great time.
That's awesome.
Such a great time. So I mean, we did all stupid shit. We used to chase each other playing cops and robbers.
Right.
Like, okay, you're the robbers, I'm the cops, I'll chase you. And we chase each other like we were Starsky and Hutch. We call it. We're so old and stupid. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow, flood of memories.
I lived by these railroad tracks, and the thing that we would always do is like you come bombing down the hill, and if you're going fast enough, you could jump the tracks, and we did that just so much. Like
we had a spot on one road that you came down a big hill. You could get up speed, and there was a hump in the middle, and we would jump it. People,
Yep.
I mean, they were crazy. People would go through and we'd go back later and be like, look at the scratch marks. See, I went further, you know, and crazy,
Right.
crazy idiots. We were
Right.
idiots. Oh my God, we were such idiots. I love it. I love it. We had so much fun. Oh my God. So much fun.
It's awesome. Yeah, good times. Good times.
And we were lucky too. We lived in a spot, you know, the police department closed at midnight. Like,
oh,
I mean,
nice.
For real. There was a close at midnight. I remember being 14 years old and coasting past the police department at 11:59 with no lights in the car in neutral and my idiot friends to go into the gas station to get candies and sodas.
Right.
There was nothing else to do. You know, I'd
Right.
you know, my dad's car, or
Yeah.
I'd get my car out. You know, if it wasn't blocked in, I'd be able to take it without them
Right.
knowing. Such douches. I'm surprised we're alive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so many guys that are just like should have died just from doing dumb stuff, but it's like
God, it was always with
whatever
cars.
reason I'm still here. Yeah.
Always cars. And then I mean, and we'd have times where there'd be 10 guys and we'd be chasing each other down back roads.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Stupid.
Jumping the tracks. Good times. That's awesome.
Oh man.
That's awesome. I love it.
Back on the rails. Back on the rails.
Let's back on track here. This was a simple self-starting design that did not need a commutator, thus avoiding sparking and the high maintenance of constantly servicing and replacing mechanical brushes. Awesome. Along with getting the motor patented, Peck and Brown arranged to get the motor publicized, starting with independent testing to verify it was a functional improvement, followed by press release sent to technical publications for articles to run concurrent with the issue of the patent. Physicist William Arnold Anthony, who tested the motor, and Electrical World magazine editor Thomas Comerford Martin arranged for Tesla to demonstrate his AC motor on May 16, 1888, at the American Institute of Electrical Engineers. Engineers working for the Westinghouse Electric and Manufacturing Company reported to George Westinghouse that Tesla had a viable AC motor and related power system, something Westinghouse needed for the alternating current system he was already marketing. Westinghouse looked into getting a patent on a similar commutator-less rotating magnetic field-based induction motor developed in 1885 and presented in a paper in March 1888 by Italian physicist Galileo Ferraris, but decided that Tesla's patent would probably control the market. Nice, one guy who actually didn't try and screw him over completely. In July 1888, Brown and Peck negotiated a licensing deal with George Westinghouse for Tesla's polyphase induction motor and transformer designs for $60,000 in cash and stock and royalty of $2.50 per AC horsepower produced by each motor. Damn, like that is so much money for 1888, 60,000 in cash, and then like he was a ditch digger making $2 a day, but now he gets a royalty of $2.50 per AC horsepower produced by each motor, like rolling in the dough. And he didn't even care about money. Like he's just like, cool, now I can invent more shit. Like awesome.
Right.
Westinghouse also hired Tesla for 1 year for the large fee of $2,000, which is $56,900 in today's dollars, per month to be a consultant. $2,000 per month to be a consultant at the Westinghouse Electric and Manufacturing
Oh,
Company, Pittsburgh's lab. Dude was making 56 grand a month, like rolling, or well, you compared to today, like yeah, like
right.
just
I'll take that.
rolling in dough. I mean, even 2 grand a month, like shoot, I was making like just over 3 grand a month at Amazon, like that's fucking good money. Like, damn, just rolling in dough. Just insanity. During that year, Tesla worked in Pittsburgh, helping to create an alternating current system to power the city's streetcars. He found it a frustrating period because of conflicts with the other Westinghouse engineers over how to best implement AC power. Between them, they settled on a 60-cycle AC system that Tesla proposed to match the working frequency of Tesla's motor, but they soon found that it would not work for streetcars since Tesla's induction motor could run only at a constant speed. They ended up using a DC traction motor instead. Oh, so Edison got one win there, because Edison made the DC
So
current.
they needed to figure out some way to get a voltage regulator to it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, I guess that's what would change the speed of the motor.
Right. Which
Crazy. I mean,
that
some of the shit that they have now, like I believe it's Ferrari makes one. Is a hybrid. It's like 800 horsepower because it has like 500 or 600 horsepower gas engine and another 400 horsepower like electric engine motor.
right.
And I mean, so even exotic crazy cars use that technology now, batteries and
Right.
motors.
Exactly.
Crazy, crazy.
I was thinking about they have those like the magnetic trains that go super fast, but I wonder if they
Maglev.
use something like this to keep it at the constant speed. Like once it gets up to speed, then using something like Tesla's induction motor to keep it running at that constant speed. I don't know, pretty interesting. But yeah, those maglev trains they're freaking awesome. Like so fucking cool.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. The market turmoil. Tesla's demonstration of his induction motor and Westinghouse's subsequent licensing of the patent, both in 1888, came at the time of extreme competition between electric companies. The three big firms, Westinghouse, Edison, and Thomas Houston, were trying to grow in a capital-intensive business while financially undercutting each other. There was even a war of currents propaganda campaign going on with Edison Electric, trying to claim that their direct current system was better and safer than the Westinghouse alternating current system. Yeah, of course, because Edison was a dick and he realized that he was losing. So of course he's going to make a smear campaign telling, like, I'm pretty sure that he tried
Kill an
telling people,
elephant
dude,
or something.
yeah, he did. He sure did. Yep. Yeah, just like, oh, it's no problem. Just watch what I can do with my thing. I'm gonna kill this elephant. Like, dude, you're a psychopath. Like, and I think I'm pretty sure it was Edison that like
You're a psychopath.
like he was like, oh, this isn't that bad. Tesla's like, bro, don't stand in direct line of that. Like you're gonna fucking die or something. And Edison's just like, oh no, it's not a problem. And he just like shines his shit in his eyes or something. Like he was just he was just insane. And yeah, just doing everything that he could to just try and keep his patent going or whatever. Like he was super psycho. But competing in this market meant Westinghouse would not have the cash or engineering resources to develop Tesla's motor and the related polyphase system right away. 2 years after signing the Tesla contract, Westinghouse Electric was in trouble. The near collapse of Barings Bank in London triggered the financial panic of 1890, causing investors to call in their loans to Westinghouse Electric. The sudden cash shortage forced the company to refinance its debts. The new lenders demanded that Westinghouse cut back on what looked like excessive spending on acquisition of other companies, research, and patents, including the per motor royalty in the Tesla contract. At that point, the Tesla induction motor had been unsuccessful and was stuck in development. Westinghouse was paying a $15,000 a year guaranteed royalty, even though operating examples of the motor were rare and polyphase power systems needed to run it were even rarer. In early 1891, George Westinghouse explained his financial difficulties to Tesla in stark items, saying that if he did not meet the demands of his lenders, he would no longer be in control of Westinghouse Electric, and Tesla would have to deal with the bankers to try to collect future royalties. The advantages of having Westinghouse continue to champion the motor probably seemed obvious to Tesla, and he agreed to release the company from the royalty payment clause in the contract. 6 years later, Westinghouse purchased Tesla's patent for a lump sum payment of $216,000 as a part of a patent sharing agreement with General Electric, a company created from the 1892 merger of Edison and Thomas Houston. That's interesting. Very interesting.
That is interesting.
The New York laboratories. The money Tesla made from licensing his AC patents made him independently wealthy and gave him the time and funds to pursue his own interests. In 1889, Tesla moved out of the Liberty Street shop Peck and Brown. Sorry, I lost it. Street shop Peck and Brown had rented and for the next dozen years worked out of a series of workshop laboratory spaces in Manhattan. Included a lab at 175 Grand Street, the 4th floor of 33 to 35th South 5th Avenue, and 6th and 7th floors of 46 and 48 East Houston Street. Tesla and his hired staff conducted some of his most significant work in these workshops. The Tesla coil. These things are awesome. In the summer of 1889, Tesla traveled to the 1889 Exposition Universelle in Paris and learned of Heinrich Hertz's 1886 to 88 experiments that proved the existence of electromagnetic radiation, including radio waves. Tesla found this new discovery refreshing and decided to explore it more fully. In repeating and then expanding on these experiments, Tesla tried powering a Ruhmkorff coil with a high-speed alternator he had been developing as part of an improved arc lighting system, but found that the high-frequency current overheated the iron core and melted the insulation between the primary and secondary windings in the coil. To fix his problem, Tesla came up with his oscillating transformer with an air gap instead of insulating material between the primary and secondary windings, and an iron core that could be moved to different positions in or out of the coil, later called the Tesla coil. It would be used to produce high voltage, low current, high-frequency alternating current electricity. He would use this resonant transformer circuit in his later wireless power work. Those things look awesome. A variety of types of electrical transformer are made for different purposes. Despite their design differences, the various types employ the same basic principles as discovered in 1831 by Michael Faraday and share several key functional parts. Very cool. Yeah, I've heard of people like making their own Tesla coils now, and they're just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna run my house on this Tesla coil. Like, it's awesome. So awesome.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, because for it to be produces high voltage, low current, high frequency, alternating current electricity. Yeah, it's just getting deep for my head there. It's like, I understand how awesome it is, but if I had to like relay this information, it would be very difficult to say it without reading it here in front of me. Just gonna through this a little bit, see if there is.
It's just so rotten.
He just did so much stuff. It's
such
just
a brilliant man.
Yeah,
But,
and
I mean,
and
really
I mean, it makes sense why he never married. I mean, he had like I think it was a phobia, but he just had a issue with like
girls are icky.
how women. What's that?
Girls are icky. Ugh.
Right. Yeah. Well, he had a really big problem with like how women's hair felt, and their perfume really bothered him too. And so he had a lot of female friends and like admirers and stuff, but he really never dated. But also, like, I don't know what his IQ was, but like it had to be like one of the highest IQs. I mean, I'm guessing at least 160. And for people like that, like, it's very, very difficult to connect with people who are not on your level, because the way that he saw the world compared to, an 80 to 100 IQ person, I mean, it's just like impossible to be compatible with that person. Not saying anything bad about any of them, whatever, but it just, when you're on that level of smart, like the way that you view the world, you can't be around a ton of people, because like they're probably just so annoying to you, because you're just like, why don't you get it? Or like, and yeah, and to be able to invent this much stuff, like you pretty much have to be by yourself, like great writers don't write amazing novels by being with other people. Like, you have to just be by yourself and your laptop or your pen and your paper, and you just have to let your mind go and do that stuff. And so yeah, it kind of makes sense that he never married, but yeah, sad in ways that he didn't have children just because he was so brilliant. But yeah, I mean, we probably wouldn't have so many of the stuff that he did if he had been married, because marriage and children takes up a lot of your time, and that's just really the way that it is. His citizenship: on July 30th, 1891, aged 35, Tesla became a naturalized citizen of the United States. In the same year, he patented his Tesla coil. So 35, he patented the Tesla coil, and he already had all this other stuff patented. I'm 34 now, and like, I don't have anything patented. But, yeah.
Never know.
I could just make a break right now. You just never know. But no, I will probably just be, semi-famous with my gardening skills. That's that's about it. And it is like so hot in here. I'm just dying. I had to turn my fan off because I figured it would probably be too loud doing the stream. But now I'm just like
turn it back on.
It was like
I turned my AC off.
It was a freaking 100 degrees today. Like, just disgusting for Western Washington. We're not equipped for that in any way. But yeah, it's really freaking hot in my room.
Yeah, I thought you guys didn't even know how to handle that.
Yeah, we really don't. Like, I started kind of getting acclimatized to it when I was in Eastern Washington because it's like a desert over there. But I don't know, coming back to this side, it's just like, so I have a hair tie. No, I don't. I can't even put my hair up. But yeah, like coming back to this side, I don't know, it's such a different kind of heat over here. Because over there, it's just really dry and hot. And over here, it's more of the kind of humid hot because we have so much more water over on this side. And yeah, it's just like a humid, gross, disgusting hot. So I hope that I don't look like an awful sweaty mess or anything. I can feel I'm warm, but I don't think I'm like sweaty and disgusting, whatever. That probably just got rid of any people who are watching.
You are not sweaty or disgusting.
Yeah, I am just like a filthy, gross woman. But if you don't like it, you don't have to be in my stream. So that's a nice thing about the internet. Like,
how many Fs are being given out this evening? Oh yeah, 0.
0 fucks given every night on Dottie's stream.
There you go.
I don't even know. Let's see if there is anybody watching.
If you want Fs, you came to the wrong place.
Oh, we do have some people in chat. Cool. I'll do some shout outs in.
Hey, what's up? I can't see the chat because if on the phone, if you go out of StreamYard, it cuts your mic off and you can't talk.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I just saw that they changed StreamYard so that you can use it on your phone. So that's kind of cool. I have always done it on my computer just because I'm normally reading stuff and it's better to have it bigger and scrollable and the screen sharing and all that good stuff that I like to do. It's just easier on the computer. But cool that we can do it on our phone because I haven't been able to live stream on mobile forever since they changed. You have to have 1,000 subs to live stream on mobile, but now with StreamYard looks like I could live stream on mobile again, which is awesome because I'm probably going to be planning a meetup for probably late September, I think. And I do have a hair tie. But yeah, I'll probably plan a meetup for late September in a park over here. And it'd be cool to be able to live stream a little bit during the meetup just so people can say hey and see who's there and whatnot. And yeah, it's just nice to have options like that. But
yeah, that'd be real good.
I'll read about the wireless lighting and then I will get in the chat and say hey to who's here. So
lighting is interesting. I could tell people about that LED thing. I think I told you about it, right?
Oh yeah, we were talking about that last night. Yeah. Yeah, and like I feel like if I do want to be an electrician, like it's this is good information to read about just because like it's just always good to learn new stuff about interesting stuff that you don't know really. And yeah, I mean, I like doing streams and giving people a place to be that like doesn't hate them, because if you watch Netflix or CNN, like they're just programming you for absolute hell. And so you can come to my little channel and find some crap that might interest you that, I mean, it's bound to be interesting to someone, you know, with enough people on the internet, someone's bound to enjoy it. So yeah, it's a good time. Good time. Wireless lighting. After 1890, Tesla experimented with transmitting power by inductive and capacitive coupling using high AC voltages generated with his Tesla coil. He attempted to develop a wireless lighting system based on near-field inductive and capacitive coupling, and conducted a series of public demonstrations where he lit Geisler tubes and even incandescent light bulbs from across a stage. He spent most of the decade working on variations of this new form of lighting with the help of various investors, but none of the ventures succeeded in making a commercial product of his findings. In 1893, at St. Louis, Missouri, the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and the National Electric Light Association, Tesla told onlookers that he was sure a system like this could eventually conduct intelligible signals of perhaps even power to any distance without the use of wires by conducting it through the earth. Whoa. That's awesome. Whew. I need to read that. Tesla told onlookers that he was sure a system like this could eventually conduct intelligible signals or perhaps even power to any distance without the use of wires by conducting it through the earth. I mean, that just screams ether to me. Like, I'm pretty positive.
You want to know something? That's weird, because if that's a possibility, it gives a little more validity, I think, to Lee. Drones and Truth, FPV Drones and Truth, Lee. I'm pretty sure you must have talked before. He definitely is in the chat.
I think so. Yeah, it sounds familiar.
But he was looking at aerial photos, Google aerial photos of like some truck stops where he was hanging out, and then just started looking at other stuff. And he's like, huh, funny, but this shit looks just like if it was a computer circuit board. And if you could conduct electricity through the ground, could that be a possibility?
Right.
You know, I don't know. Like I said, all this shit is just theories we're coming up with. So F anybody if you don't like it. Oh wait, sorry, no Fs. Yeah, you don't get any Fs with you.
You get to leave if you don't like it, because we don't care.
Right.
But yeah, like I wonder. I mean, there, like, I feel like Tesla had to know about the ether. I feel like he's mentioned that before, but you know, I think sometimes how like our thoughts are transferred, because so I've been noticing it now that I'm staying with my mom and granny. Like I will think of something in the morning that like I haven't thought of for a really long time, just like random whatever, like something about a TV show or something about something that we did, and then like something will happen later in the day that one of my family members will have that same thought and mention it to me. I'm like, oh, I was just thinking about that earlier. And the other day I had a we saw a commercial for Olive Garden, and I remembered this time when I was younger. We had a gift card for Olive Garden, and we like, it was like about to expire. We had to go and use it, and so we went to Olive Garden, and we ended up finding a bug in our food, and so they comped our meal, and like we were laughing about it because we're like, dang it, like we we really needed to use this gift card. And so then we're like, great, we still have this gift card. And so I was thinking about that. And then like a minute later, my granny mentioned like, oh, I remember, going to Olive Garden, we had this gift card, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I was just thinking about that. And so like, I just kind of wonder like, do these thoughts just like travel in waves around us, and that just happens to hit us at the same time, and it's just, or like,
we're
did
all
I
connected
did
for
I
sure.
download that memory from the cloud or from the ether, and then my granny happened to download it at the same time or whatever. But yeah, this
Absolutely.
conducting stuff through the earth without the use of wires, that made me think of that, because I always think about how why is it that you and I and all these other people, like so many of us like came to flat earth at like the same time. Like mine was in November of 2017, but there's so many people who like it happened around the same time to them and in very similar ways. And it's just like, how do these waves of information and energy, that actually made me
August 2015.
that made me think again, like I was thinking about how so the clouds are always moving over the earth. They're constantly moving. Well, I was thinking like, okay, like what if we see this cloud formation and then it it goes in a circle over the earth and eventually it comes back around to us. So what if our information, they tell us that like on your iPhone or your smartphone or whatever, you store your stuff in the cloud. What if we literally are storing information in the clouds, and as they pass over the earth, certain people pick up that information from the cloud, and like we literally are downloading back from the cloud or uploading to the cloud, and as the clouds pass over the earth, some people get the information, some people don't, some people get it a little bit later, when it passes back around again, or I don't know. That's
Interesting. I can't even call you batshit crazy because that's wow.
Yeah, like go ahead and disprove it,
Right.
go ahead and say that like, I mean, you can, like, if you're very connected with nature, like I used to sit and meditate with this tree outside my apartment. I lived like I would walk out my apartment and there's like a big grassy area, and then there's trees, and then there's a river.
Liking
And
that.
what's that?
I'm sure your neighbors like that. She's out talking to the tree again.
I know, yeah, exactly. Well, and you literally can, like, if you get connected to the trees, like you can download information from them. And I mean, I can even like do this. It was like, I don't know, it's kind of like tree traveling. Like I could like kind of go up in the tree and see like far out where the trees could see. And if you get really connected to it, you can actually travel with the trees. And it's getting really depth, whatever. But I mean,
hey, could I just ask real quick?
yeah.
I saw for a second in chat, Flat Earth City. Is that what it was? Had asked a comment. I guess he's in Connecticut, which is actually only like 20 miles from me. And get right to Danbury. I don't know what part of Connecticut he's in, but was asking about a statue. I guess he meant Statue of Liberty. He said Starfort.
Oh,
He wants to go to it, that it's open. But I wanted to say you have to go online, and and you may not even be able to get a ticket, because like when I did it, I took the little guy, and we couldn't even get access to the crown. You had it was too reserved. It was sold out. You couldn't go up. So we only went to the top of the pedestal,
Right.
which was still pretty crazy views, and that shit don't look like there's any curvature underneath the
Hmm.
Verrazano Bridge where they say there's curvature.
Right.
It doesn't look like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Star forts was one of those things that just like that like really blew my mind for a little bit when I first heard about those, because like they're everywhere and they're really cool, really fascinating. But yeah, I have heard that the Statue of Liberty is on one of those, and yeah, they're pretty fascinating
And
things.
that's weird because I think Brian was saying that was a Mandela thing, but I remember it always being a star fort. I don't
Hmm.
remember it. I don't remember it different. I even remember old Grand Theft Auto from years and years and years ago. That's probably 15 years, and it was a star fort in that. It was always a star. Weird.
Hmm.
I don't know. Those Mandelas are weird ones because some
They're
get me, some don't.
yeah,
Some I'm like, get out of here. That's just marketing. And then other ones I'm like, what? No, no, it can't
right.
be.
Yeah,
Like,
some of them are
I'm sorry, but Dolly had fucking braces.
right,
Okay,
right.
don't care what you say.
Yeah, yeah. And I
I'm
never
I'm
saw
gonna
that
say
movie, so
Dottie
that
had
one,
braces. Yeah,
yeah, I didn't ever see
Dolly
that,
had
so that one
braces.
didn't. That one didn't get me. There was quite a few that were really weird to me. I think the one that trying to think, the one that like really, really got me that I still just don't understand was Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, because
Yeah,
he's to me, he said, like, he always said, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And then you watch it and he says, this neighborhood. And as soon as I was watching, like, Brian Stavely has just a shit ton of playlists on Mandela. And so I was watching a few and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember that different. Like Kit Kat had the dash, or Field of Dreams, or just like a couple of those, whatever. I was like, okay, yeah, I do remember it differently. That it didn't really turn me on. And then the Mr. Rogers ones came on, and I was just like, what the fuck is happening? Like, what is this? And I still don't really understand it. And it's, I don't know. I really, I don't understand it at all. And so it's one of those things I just kind of let go, because I'm like, I don't know how to get to the bottom of this. And I guess it just doesn't really matter that much to me, but I, I don't know. And it's like so much stuff in history has changed just constantly that at this point it's just like it's not really surprising when something changes. Like every time Brian mentions on Facebook or whatever, he's like, oh, what do you remember about this? And I'm like, no, what did they change now? What did they do? And it's just like, yeah, it's just too much sometimes, because I
mm,
just really don't understand. I don't understand how that happens, but it is really fascinating for sure. But yeah, I don't know. There's just so many things that have been lied to and hidden from us, and that it's just like, I think it would be easy to change stuff because they change history all the time. So like, why not? But yeah, I'm gonna hop in the chat and say hello to some people.
hello,
Um, Looks like ZULUONE was the first one, and
hello. Of course I
say
was.
something.
Come on now.
And Sue Finelli, hello, hello. She said earlier, the Jersey Shore is awesome. I love Cape May. Yes, Cape May is wonderful. And then she said, no, there's more places at the shore that are nice. Oh, okay, that's good. Good to know. I didn't know that there was other nice places in New Jersey. That was the only place I went, so I had a
Yeah,
very good
I need
experience.
someplace. Where can I go?
I yeah, it was December when I went there, so I definitely did not get to see the shore or the nice beach or anything like that. We were right near the shore, but yeah, it was super bad cold weather, so we didn't go out on it or anything. But yeah, I'm glad that my experience of New Jersey was so positive because yeah, the one place I went was very nice, very pleasant, and I've heard the rest of the state is a complete shithole. So, you know.
Yeah.
Flat Earth City, hello. He says, this is a great stream, Zulu and Dottie. Well, thank you very much. Glad that we're not boring you or anything like that.
Yeah.
Zulu, I'm in Connecticut
right?
for this trip. It is getting late here. Yeah.
Don't want to bore people, right?
Right. I was planning on taking a trip to the ocean, but everyone I talk to call it the Sound. Oh, yeah. If you're in, well, if you come to Washington, we have the Puget Sound here, and then you can get to the ocean as well. But yeah, the Puget Sound is connected to the ocean. And it's very big. It looks like an ocean, honestly. I go to one of the beaches around here quite frequently, and it's yeah, it's spectacular. It's very big, and it has waves, and I don't know if it's salted. I think it's a mix of freshwater and saltwater, honestly, because the Sound goes into the ocean or something.
Is that called brackish?
Brackish, yeah, brackish water, yeah. It definitely has seaweed in it. I don't know if that makes any difference for anything. I have no idea, but
does seaweed only grow in salt water?
I have no idea. I know that when you eat seaweed, it's pretty salty, but that might be like packaged seaweed that they add salt to. So
is seaweed kelp?
Yeah, aren't they in the same family?
I don't know.
They're very similar.
You're the flower person, the botanist.
Yeah, I have not studied enough about seaweed to know for sure. But I know that you can grab the dried seaweed off the beach. Well, you can grab the wet stuff too, but if you grab the dry stuff and crumble it up in your plants, it's a really great added fertilizer for your plants, like your potted plants. So you could do that. Flutter City says, I did have some awesome fish tacos. Nice. He also says, do I have more info on Tesla? I don't know. I mean, what kind of info do you want? I did a part 1 of this stream. It's on my channel somewhere. Like,
I was going to say, you're getting it right now.
But yeah, I mean, we're just pretty much reading through Wikipedia and whatever
we're trying.
Say. But yeah. Going to the statue on Tuesday. The website says it's open this week. I think it's a good idea. I'm interested in the Star Fort. Nice. And hello to Mojo Shop. And I think, let me see if there was anyone else. Nope, I think that's all the people in there. Okay, awesome. Cool. Well, thank you all for being here. It's wonderful that you stopped by to enjoy this stream and that you are enjoying it. So I'll go ahead and share this back, and we'll see what else is going on in the Tesla land. Let's see how much more of this we have. Doubtful we'll get through. We might have to do a part 3 of this, just because you did so much shit that there's oh wow, he died in 1937. That was, oh no, wait. No, he didn't. Never mind. He was just talking pigeons at that point. And my granny was born in 1937. So he died in 1943 at the age of 86. Died alone in room 3327. Probably some Illuminati shit in that. I don't fucking know. Let me see. Where were we? Polyphase system and the Columbian Exposition. I wonder if this is the that building collapser thing. I don't know. That thing's really interesting. By the beginning of 1893, Westinghouse engineer Charles F. Scott and then Benjamin LeMay had made progress on an efficient version of Tesla's induction motor. LeMay found a way to make the polyphase system. It would need to be compatible with older single-phase AC and DC systems by developing a rotary converter. The polyphase system is a means of distributing alternating current electrical power where the power transfer is constant during each electrical cycle. Polyphase systems have 3 or more energized electrical conductors carrying alternating currents with a defined phase angle between the voltage waves. Alrighty. And a rotary converter is a type of electrical machine which acts as a mechanical rectifier, inverter, or frequency converter. Nice. Westinghouse Electric now had a way to provide electricity to all potential customers and started branding their polyphase AC system to the Tesla polyphase system. They believed that Tesla's patents gave them the patent priority over other polyphase AC systems. Westinghouse Electric asked Tesla to participate in the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, where the company had a large space in the Electricity Building devoted to electrical exhibits. Westinghouse Electric won the bid to light the exposition with alternating current, and it was a key event in the history of AC power, as the company demonstrated to the American public the safety, reliability, and efficiency of an alternating current system that was polyphase and could also supply the other AC and DC exhibits at the fair. Yeah, I mean, they lit up the entire fair with this system. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Special.
All his stuff was amazing.
Everything he did was just so like undervalued and amazing, like just mind-blowingly awesome. And yeah, he just like smoked Edison out with how awesome he was. It's like Edison did like one cool thing, and then Tesla came in and did like a billion awesome things. Like
and made it amazing.
Yeah, exactly. And wanted everybody to just have it because it was so awesome. He's like, this is fucking sweet. Like, I think everybody in the world needs to know about this and have this. And yeah, Edison is like, bitch, no, we need to charge people for this. Like, we can't give this away for free. Are you crazy? And it's just like, dude, like, the fuck? It's like, you're an inventor. Why would you not want people to have your cool shit? Like, but yeah, Edison just like, but what about the money? We need the money, dude. And then, you know, Tesla ended up just making bank anyway. Like, it's just ridiculous. It's like, do what you love, and yeah, people will pay for it. Like, nobody gives a shit what happened to Edison, you know. Just like he probably like fried his eyes out by like testing his dumb DC current or whatever. Yeah, he's just ridiculous. A special exhibit space was set up to display various forms and models of Tesla's induction motor. The rotating magnetic field that drove them was explained through a series of demonstrations, including the Egg of Columbus, that used the two-phase coil found in induction motor to spin a copper egg, making it stand on end. That's cool. Tesla visited the fair for a week during its 6-month run to attend the International Electrical Congress and put on a series of demonstrations at the Westinghouse exhibit. A specially darkened room had been set up where Tesla showed wireless lighting system using a demonstration he had previously performed throughout America and Europe. These included
killing elephants.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I think I mean, Edison definitely killed an elephant, and I mean, Tesla was he was a huge fan of pigeons because they're just very smart, very useful, and yeah, he used to talk to the pigeons a lot. But
very easy to kill.
Edison was just like, he's like, look at my cool electricity. Watch me zap this elephant. Like, dude, you suck. Like,
Yeah.
what the fucking elephant do to you? Like, jerk. These included using high voltage, high frequency alternating current to light wireless gas discharge lamps. Gas discharge lamps are a family of artificial light sources that generate light by sending an electric discharge through an ionized gas, a plasma. Typically, such lamps use a noble gas or a mixture of these gases. Some include additional substances like mercury, sodium, and metal halides, which are vaporized during startup to become part of the what? Oh, of course, it's gonna just take that. Okay, never mind. We'll just go back. It's fine. Part of the whatever. An observer noted, within the room were suspended 2 hard rubber plates covered with tin foil. These were about 15 feet apart and served as terminals of the wires leading from the transformers. When the current was turned on, the lamps or tubes, which had no wires connected to them but lay on a table between the suspended plates, or which might be held in the hand in almost any part of the room, were made luminous. These were the same experiments and the same apparatus shown by Tesla in London about 2 years previous, where they produced so much wonder and astonishment. Dude, like, thinking back to, this was what, 1893. I mean, producing light without wires, like, you know, all these people didn't even have electricity in their house unless they were super, super rich. And so to see electricity without wires or anything like that shit was probably so mind-blowing to people. I mean, just unbelievably mind-blowing to see something like that. Like, they probably thought that, like, he was doing some kind of magic, or, you know, like, just yeah, because like the light bulb had like barely been invented at this point, and this guy's just like, oh, look, I can make light across the room. And like, yeah, people were probably just like, what the fuck is this? Like, just mind blown, straight up magic show right now. And
it's despicable that doesn't exist. Like, it's just a thing that everyone has, and it's ridiculous. Why
exactly.
are we?
Because 1893, he has gas discharge lamps, and it's like, why are we, you know, why am I still using this normal lamp with wires, has to be plugged in, you know, like, what kind of psyop took over and was just like, oh no, well, you can't have just free energy, like, that's insane, like, fuck you guys. And yeah, just looks like Edison still won out in a way that yeah, it almost seems like we're still using his stupid shit. And
yeah, and even without it being free, why isn't it wireless?
Right. Yeah, like,
you know, why do we still have to have power lines that fucking fall when there's shitty weather? You know, I mean, why isn't it wireless? It just, why?
Exactly.
I don't know what else to say.
It's apparent that the Earth has more than enough energy to, you know, I mean, he was transmitting stuff through the Earth. Like, clearly, it's completely unnecessary to have anything wired. Like, if he was doing this back in the 1800s, that power is still here, and so obviously someone has just capitalized on the ability to be able to charge us for this shit, which, you know, really kind of makes me excited to be more off grid, because it's like, it's very evident that the earth has more than enough power for us. You just have to know how to tap into it. And I mean, yeah, it's almost like you can just like grab currents right out of the air around you and utilize it. And man, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
such ridiculousness
right.
that we live in this type of world.
Exactly.
It's not necessary.
Like there's so many other currencies than just money, but people have made it so everything is dependent on money, and we're just like so convinced that, oh well, you have to pay for your electricity. It's like, but why? Why do we have to pay for it? Why do we have to use wires for it? Like it's all around us. And you know, I was just in I went to Yellowstone and back, and South Dakota, Mount Rushmore, all that stuff. Well,
Yeah,
on
I
our
wish
way
I lived
back,
there.
we saw this just awesome lightning storm off in the distance. Two different times actually, on our way down and on our way back, we saw these really awesome lightning storms. And the first night, it was very fascinating to me because there was like a hillside off in the distance, and then there was a just a patch of clouds like right above the hillside, and then the whole rest of the sky was clear and beautiful, and you know, crystal clear stars out. But I thought it was very interesting that the lightning was all concentrated in the cloud, and like you could see all the stars above it, you could see the hillside below it, but all the lightning was just concentrated in this one like cloud pocket. And it's one of those things I was like felt my brain like trying to go down a rabbit hole, but I'm like, I don't know what exactly I'm trying to pinpoint with this thought. But yeah, it just struck me as very interesting that the lightning was just all in this cloud thing. Because like I think, isn't it, I'm trying to think, like don't they say that like lightning actually comes out of the ground,
Goes
and it,
up.
yeah, and it goes up,
That's what I've heard.
but yeah, the way that we see it, it looks like it's shooting down. And I don't know, I was trying to figure out like where my thought was going with that, but I don't know. That's one of those things I just kind of get wrapped up in and get lost in, because I'm like, I it's almost like you like have the idea like right on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't say it, or you just like can't figure it out. But I'm like, there's something happening here that I like I need to understand a little bit more about. So I don't know, maybe we'll have to do a stream on lightning or something just to
Yeah.
just to
Well,
figure
it's interesting. Like I
out.
go to Florida a lot. My dad lives down there, and that's like the lightning capital of the world.
Hmm.
And I wonder why is this? Because I mean,
Right.
it always feels like there's like an electrical energy, a charge,
Mhm.
something in the air. Just
Hmm.
always feels that way. Like there's a static charge. Maybe I don't know how to describe
Interesting.
it.
Well, isn't the Bermuda Triangle off of Florida, kind of like
Yeah,
way
from
out in the
there
ocean?
to like Bermuda, Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
I've flown through the Bermuda Triangle a bunch of times going to Puerto Rico.
yeah.
Never
Uh,
really thought about it. I don't like it.
right, right. Yeah, because
But
yeah, I
it's
wonder
pretty
like
crazy.
I'll have to look at a map, because I wonder, I don't know if that's like, I don't know, you know, like kind of the like center of the earth in a way, like, but it's not quite far enough down to be at the equator, so it wouldn't be like completely at the center. But I don't know, I'm just thinking like I wonder if there's just weird kind of magnetic shit happening in the middle of the earth. Because I mean, at the North Pole there's all kinds of frequency shit happening and whatnot. And so I wonder if there's something happening in the middle as well that just kind of makes oh no, I'm awake. But yeah, I wonder if there's something
Hi, Granny.
the middle of the earth that is super electrically charged too, which I mean, really, it's like if the earth is some kind of battery, like it would make sense that it has a north and south kind of points on the battery, but I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, there's definitely some kind of weird shit going on in the Bermuda Triangle. And yeah, I mean, it's obvious that the Earth has some kind of crazy electrical energy, and yeah, I just don't know. That's really interesting though. But yeah, I've always been kind of fascinated with the Bermuda Triangle. It's a very weird, kind of scary, but interesting kind of thing. But let's learn about a steam-powered
I don't know what it is. There's definitely something. Okay.
Yeah.
Back on
for
track.
sure. Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt that like the Earth has some weird shit going on with it, and a lot of this stuff is like I don't think that we're meant to figure it all out, or we just you have to be like Tesla smart to be able to tap into this information and understand it. Which yeah, I will definitely never be that smart, but yeah, it's really fun to try and figure it out. But
interesting.
Yeah, man, I wish that I could just like, if I could time travel, I would definitely go back and just
Is that who you'd want to go see?
Absolutely, yeah. And I'd really like to go back and see the pyramids, because I heard, man, this was on a Globebuster stream a couple years ago. It was called Pyramid Power, and they were talking about how those limestone blocks that they made the pyramids with, like, they're so unbelievably massive that there's just no way that they were drug up there and placed up there by people. And they were actually saying that it would make more sense that those were actually poured kind of like concrete, like they mixed sand, water, ash, and like something else. I don't know. There was like 4 things that they mixed together.
They had a crazy super recipe for concrete that we don't.
Yeah, exactly. And they just poured, mixed up the stuff, because they had like basically all the necessary supplies to make the limestone or whatever, with the river there, and then the sand, and then they would like burn the palm trees or something for the ash or whatever, and they just mixed it all up and they made this concrete, and then they poured the blocks in the space that they were. And it's like people laying bricks or whatever. Well, I mean, you don't make the bricks as you're going, but it's still just like you make the brick and put it there or whatever. And because it's like the timeline that they said that they were built in is just impossible for that amount of slaves to do that. But I also think that they probably utilized giants to build stuff like that. But at the same time, how are you going to make a giant a slave? I mean, if you're...
I forgot who talked about it, but said that they weren't slaves, that they were people who wanted to do this. They were fed, they enjoyed life, they had families.
Right.
That's what I heard. I don't,
Right.
again, who knows what
I mean,
is.
it wouldn't surprise me at all, because it's like, yeah, I don't believe a ton of the slavery stuff that is pushed on us and whatever, and like, to the amount of detail and beauty and awe that is in these old structures. If you're a slave and you're depressed and you hate your slave captor, there's zero possibility. Like, there's no amount of whipping that will make you build something this unbelievably beautiful and spectacular and just like
And amazing,
jaw-droppingly
right.
beautiful. Like, if you are broken and a slave and you're starving and all this shit, like you cannot whip a person to be motivated to, build the Roman cathedrals or stuff like this, like all these
Yeah, I don't think so either.
old beautiful churches that, like, they give off a resonance and a frequency that when you sit in them, it has like very good energy in them, like you can just feel it. And then if you sing like certain, like, that's why choirs sound so good in these churches, because the churches are built to carry the frequencies beautifully and whatever. And like, you're not going to do that if you are a rundown, miserable slave. Like, you're going to do shitty work in it because you don't care about it. Like, oh, if I don't do it, like, you're going to kill me anyway. So like, why should I care about making this stone look, like a carved beautiful woman or whatever? Like, I don't see that happening with slaves at all, because they're just so broken and miserable that, yeah, you're not going to do that stuff. And yeah, it's so yeah, the pyramids, I mean, like, if you're building those, I mean, it was such a monstrous feat, and like, you would be so proud of that. Like, I built this stupid little, like, piece of shit planter box that works awesome, but like, it looks like crap. Like, it's not cut right.
That's what it looks like.
It's just thrown together, and I'm super proud of it because it's growing my food. And so to think of these just massive, beautiful, unbelievable structures, there's no way that you would build that without pride. And like, to look at these things from across the desert, and it just like stands out and is absolutely magnificent. There's no way that you would build that and not be like, yes, that thing is fucking awesome. Like you are going to high five your buddies after you build that. Like, you're going to be like, fuck yeah, dude, look what we did. That thing is fucking sick. Like, that is just human nature. Like, if you love something and you put deep pride into it, and you take so much time to make it perfect and beautiful and all this, like, there's no way that you're a slave doing that. There's no way. No way at all. Yeah. Because yeah, it's not in human nature to build something spectacular and beautiful for your gods or whatever, and then hate it. Like, you're not going to do that. It's completely out of human nature, which is interesting too, thinking of how, like, all the cities, like Seattle is just like this modern, gross hellhole of rectangle buildings of just put as many windows in it, just get the thing up. Like, you can tell that it's just a building. Like, no one gives a fuck about these buildings. They're all like empty. Oh, I got the hiccups. They're all like empty right now anyway. Like, nobody cares about those buildings at all. Like, they don't do, I don't know. they're just like pieces of shit. And so yeah, compared to just ancient structures and stuff, like, I mean, you can just see the amount of pride and dedication that was put into it. Like, yeah, dudes are not going to spend their entire life painting this epic mural that they don't give a fuck about. Like, they're just going to spray paint it with BLM and and be done with it. But yeah, they're not gonna paint the freaking Sistine Chapel or whatever if you're just like miserable and all that shit. So yeah, the lies of slavery through the years, it's just really, really absurd. So
Yeah, I think it's all craziness.
yeah,
But then again, who knows what they've even told us? Any
right.
truth.
And
Anything.
like, I know that, like, yes, slavery is a thing. Yes, there were slaves, but I just don't think that there were slaves on the proportion that we've been told. Like, yeah, especially these massive, amazing things. Like, no, those were just legendary carpenters and dudes who were commissioned to do an awesome job for their emperor or their god, or whoever was in charge. And yeah, that is just that's how I see it for sure. Let me see. Okay, so I think,
Next paragraph.
yep, I think maybe we'll read about that, and then let me see how much more there is, because maybe we can do a stream 3 on it, because yeah, there's still tons of quite a few things on here. But yeah, maybe we can do another stream later this week and finish this off, because he just did so many interesting things that, like, I could read about Tesla all day, never be bored. Like, yeah, he's just so awesome. But the steam-powered oscillating generator. During his presentation at the International Electrical Congress in the Columbian Exposition Agricultural Hall, Tesla introduced the steam-powered reciprocating electricity generator that he patented that year, something he thought was a better way to generate alternating current. Steam was forced into the oscillator and rushed out through a series of ports, pushing a piston up and down that was attached to an armature. The magnetic armature vibrated up and down at high speed, producing an alternating magnetic field. This induced alternating electric current in the wire coils located adjacent. It did away with the complicated parts of a steam engine generator, but never caught on as a feasible engineering solution to generate electricity. That's fascinating. Powered reciprocating electricity generator.
That's interesting.
It says Tesla's electromagnetical oscillator is a steam-powered electrical generator patented by Tesla in 1893. Later in life, Tesla claimed one version of the oscillator caused an earthquake in New York in 1898, gaining it the popular culture title Tesla's Earthquake Machine. Okay, yep, that's what we wanted, Tesla's oscillator. Let's read a little bit about this, because that is what is interesting. Let's see. Okay. Tesla's oscillator is a reciprocating electricity generator. Steam would be forced into the oscillator and exit through a series of ports, pushing a piston up and down that was attached to an armature, causing it to vibrate up and down at high speed, producing electricity. The upper chamber of the casing had to withstand pressures of 400 psi and temperatures exceeding 200 degrees Celsius. Some versions used air trapped behind the piston as an air spring, increasing efficiency. Other variation used electromagnetics to control the frequency of the piston's oscillation. Tesla developed many versions of the oscillator and looked on it as a possible replacement for inefficient reciprocating steam engines used to turn generators, but it was superseded by the development of highly efficient steam turbines. Tesla also used the highly regular tunable oscillation of the device to set frequency in his high-frequency electrical and wireless transmission experiments. There are also claims it had a physiological effect on people subjected to its vibrations in that it acted as a laxative, causing people to immediately run to the bathroom afterwards. Oh, wow, that's funny.
Is that the brown note? Right?
Right.
Right? Holy shit, that's craziness.
Right. Also claim physiological effect on
That's a
people.
real
Wow.
thing.
Huh. So the earthquake claims in 1935, at his annual birthday party press meeting, a 79-year-old Tesla related a story where he claimed a version of his mechanical oscillator caused extreme vibrations in structures and even an earthquake in downtown New York City. Reporter John O'Neill's biography of Nikola Tesla includes a version of this story, date of the telling not given. One version of the story has Tesla experimenting with a small version of his mechanical oscillator in his laboratory on 46 East Houston Street near the Manhattan neighborhood of Soho. Tesla said the oscillator was around 7 inches long and weighing 1 or 2 pounds, something you could put in your overcoat pocket. At one point, while experimenting with the oscillator, he alleged it generated a resonance in several buildings, causing complaints to the police. Dude, this thing was it was like as big as a freaking pocket knife. And he almost took down a couple buildings with it. Like, the fuck? Man.
Oh.
As the speed grew, he said that the machine oscillated at the resonance frequency of his own building, and belatedly, realizing the danger, he was forced to use a sledgehammer to terminate the experiment, just as the police arrived. Other versions have Tesla smashing the device before the police arrive and have multi-ton equipment in the basement moving around. Oh, yeah, I thought I jumped ahead. Another version has Tesla clamping an oscillator to a building under construction and causing it to vibrate so violently the steel workers working on it left the building in a panic. At the 1935 party, Tesla also claimed that the mechanical oscillator could destroy the Empire State Building with 5 pounds of air pressure if attached on a girder, and that he expected to earn $100 million from the oscillator within 2 years. Wow. And they even did it on Mythbusters. The oscillator earthquake machine was explored in 2006 in episode 60, Earthquake Machine. The Mythbusters made a device powered by electricity rather than steam. It produced vibrations that could be felt hundreds of feet away, but no earthquake shaking on the bridge they attached to. They judged that the claim that the device produced an earthquake to be false. Okay, yeah, but it says right here that they powered it by electricity rather than steam. So, let me see. Yeah, so what if they had made it with steam instead? Would that seems like that would have changed it. Who knows, maybe that would make it more powerful, because like it says right here that Tesla used steam would be forced into the oscillator. So that's interesting that they made an electric one and determined that his thing was false. Well, like, you guys didn't test the correct thing. Like, if you're gonna bust a myth, you have to make it
of course
just like he made it. And so that's very very interesting. But I used to watch Mythbusters, but
me too.
I don't really watch TV
Grant
anymore.
Imahara died?
I heard that. Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
recently.
I did hear that. Yeah.
I was like, what? He's
Yeah.
younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
Probably
Right.
better health.
Right.
Asian, probably ate fish and stuff. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Doesn't
exactly.
matter, man. You got your time's up. Your time's up. So,
I
COVID,
wonder if
bacon, or cigarettes, or
I
drunk
wonder if
driving.
he had
It doesn't
he
matter.
had he had the documents on someone and ended up with like double gunshot wound suicide to the head, one of those kind of stories. Like,
Maybe. Jesus. Who knows, right?
you just never know. Like there's quite a few celebrities who have you know suddenly died that had information on certain people that
Just disappeared.
yeah um yeah, interesting. I think I want to read this one last one because it looks interesting. Consulting on Niagara. In 1893, Edward Dean Adams, who headed up the Niagara Falls Cataract Construction Company, sought Tesla's opinion on what system would be best to transmit power generated at the falls. Over several years, there had been a series of proposals and open competitions on how best to use power generated by the falls. Among the systems proposed by several US and European companies were two-phase and three-phase AC, high voltage DC, and compressed air. Adams asked Tesla for information about the current state of all the competing systems. Tesla advised Adams that a two-phase system would be the most reliable and that there was a Westinghouse system to light incandescent bulbs using two-phase alternating current. The company awarded a contract to Westinghouse Electric for building a two-phase AC generating system at the Niagara Falls, based on Tesla's advance and Westinghouse's demonstration at the Columbian Exposition that they could build a complete AC system. At the time, a further contract was awarded to General Electric to build the AC distribution system, which I wonder if they're still using that in the falls today. Like, if they found something that worked, it's doubtful that they would then
It's doubtful
change
they
it,
changed it.
like,
The
um,
amount of money it would
so
cost and stuff, sure.
hmm, that is interesting. Because yeah, I didn't know that he had anything to do with that, but I mean, why not? It's like if he figured out how to use power from so many other things, like yeah, it makes sense that he would figure out how to do water power too, really. I mean, he was using steam for his little earthquake machine. So yeah, I didn't know that he had anything to do with that. That's interesting. Stop that screen sharing and let's see if anything has been said in the chat here. Michelangelo came in
Who's
and he
out
said
there?
Lucifer, the god of Freemasonry. Okay, I don't know what that's in reference to, but that's fine. It's all good. um, yeah, I think that might be about good for tonight. We've been going for over 2 hours now,
Wow,
and
really?
yeah, I mean
Time
we've
flies
gone
when
off
you're
on
having fun. Holy
tangents and
shit.
whatnot, but yeah, this has been fun. We'll definitely have to finish it off because there's not too much more. The Nikola Tesla Company, lab fire, X-ray experimentation, radio remote control, wireless power, Colorado Springs, Wardenclyffe, later years. Yeah, I mean, there's enough stuff for another stream for sure. Um,
Okay.
oh,
We could do it on
he
my channel if
has
you like.
Tesla
Next time.
obtained around 300 patents worldwide for his inventions.
Really?
300 patents. Some are hidden. Various sources have discovered some that have lain hidden in patent archives. There are a minimum of 278 known patents issued to Tesla in 26 countries. Many of Tesla's patents were in the United States, Britain, and Canada, but many other patents were approved in countries around, it says the globe, but we're going to say the plane. Many inventions developed by Tesla were not put into patent production. Fascinating. All right, that's a lot of patents. 300 patents worldwide for his inventions. I mean, and this thing only, Wikipedia only like touches on the things that he patented. Like that's, man, he did so much stuff. Wow, unbelievable, unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a shame. It truly is a shame.
It really is.
Not that he died the way he did, but without the recognition, but on top of it, that we don't use that technology. Why is this not something that is used by us every day?
Yeah, it makes me think of like how much stuff are we using daily that is because of something that he did that, we're not even really aware that he had a hand in it, but someone has like stolen the patent or changed it or whatever, and so it's just been kind of lost in translation that like he is responsible for so much of this stuff. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. That was a lot of fun, a lot of information.
We'll be putting it in shortly.
Shout out to everyone in chat, everyone who watches at a later date.
Love you guys out there. Not down there. Well, there might be somebody down there below us,
you never know. Yeah, looking upside down. Yeah. But yeah, we should definitely do a part 3 of this and finish that off and whatnot, because yeah, like I said, I could read about Tesla all day. So fascinating.
Yeah, it was an absolutely fascinating story. It should be shared. People should be aware of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like nobody needs to learn more about what a piece of shit Edison was. So
yeah, isn't that interesting how it's always the money assholes, J.P. Morgan, Chase, all of them. Just, it's just sad that that's what rules the world.
Yeah,
that's what decides everything. Like, it's interesting. I'm in the insurance industry, and certain things, I have more authority than the police.
Right.
They can't keep me from inspecting a vehicle because it involves money. It's just so nuts. It's absolutely nuts. I don't understand how it works that way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, I am definitely ready to hit the hay. It's past my bedtime, but yeah, this was a lot of fun.
I guess I need to get my ogre sleep too.
Right? Yeah, I know. I'm unemployed and I have no kids, so I literally have nothing that I have to do until Wednesday at like 11:15 a.m. when I have an interview. But I mean, tomorrow I have to call and see if I can get an oil change, but that will take like 5 minutes. But yeah, I have nothing.
Nice. Where do you go?
I have to take it to my dealership, because when I did my test drive, we ran out of gas. So to compensate for the inconvenience, they gave me free oil changes for life. So yeah, I just have to call. It's really sweet. Yeah, it saved me $70 every couple months. Like, fucking nice. So
that is nice.
And like, I do know how to change my own oil, but it's just the hassle of then having to get rid of the old oil. It's just so much easier to let someone do it.
FREEEEEEEEEE.
Well, free 99. But yeah, so I just have to call. I just have to call my.
And you probably get coffee, right?
Yeah, I think they have hot chocolate. Yeah, I'm a hot chocolate kind of gal. But yeah,
Nice.
it's nice. They'll wash my car, vacuum it.
Little
So
hot
yeah,
cocoa.
pretty sweet. But
Car
yeah, I just have
wash.
to call my dealership and schedule that. But that's pretty much the only thing I have to do for the next 3 days. So
Nice.
pretty easy.
Very
Pretty
nice.
easy for me. But yeah, we will definitely finish part 3 later. But yeah, it's been lots of fun. Thank everyone for being here. And if you get bored and feel like scrolling through my channel, you can get to the part 1 of this stream that it was talking about his early life and, you know, a few of his early inventions and stuff, and kind of his annoying battle with Edison and all that stuff. But yeah, hope you tune in for stream 3 on this one. And yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see you on the flat side. So
Thank
peace
you,
out.
everyone. Love you guys.
Love you all. Shout out to everyone. And yeah, we will see you later.
Peace.